Hi Cancer, welcome to your reading for week 2nd of October. I'm using the Druid Animal Oracle, and the spread I've been guided to use for most of the sun signs is called the Home or Hearth spread. So this spread is usually to help situations regarding our living home domestic situation, but it can also have links to other areas of your life. So, there's that saying that our different areas of our lives are not separate, that they're interconnected. So what happens in our career can have an impact on our home, like sometimes we bring our work home and that can impact our living situation. And sometimes our living situation can impact our friendships, our career, and so on. So take what resonates for you, and I hope you find this reading helpful. I'd also like to say thank you to Amira Salon for allowing me to do this reading for you all. And a little about me before we get on to your reading. My name is Mary. I'm an animal pet communicator. Connect telepathically with animals, so I can do a reading for your pet, ask them any questions you may have, and pass on any messages that they would like to share with you. Because pets are in our lives and they're part of our family and our home, they're not only our companions and beings in their own right, but sometimes they are assisting us with any lessons we're grasping or any changes we're wanting to make in our life as well. Our pets can be assisting us with that. So as part of your reading, if you would like to know how your pets are assisting you, I can pass on those messages and any lessons that they're helping you with as well. If you would like to get a reading, all you need to do is go to amirasalon.com and you'll find me under the tab Readers. Okay, Cancer, let's get on to your reading now. So let's start with these two cards here. We have the Salmon, which has come up for a lot of the signs, and we have the Swan. I just want to mention that sometimes you may see the same cards drawn for various signs. The card can have different messages, right? Because I'm reading these intuitively, as well as these cards having their own symbols as well. These two cards represent the way you perceive or think about yourself, as well as your home living situation, which of course can have links to your career, relationships, and so on, finances, etc. So let's start with the Salmon in reverse. It feels like, I'm going to turn it this way so you can see it, but it feels like there may be, or you may be perceiving or thinking that you're at a crossroads at the beginning of October, or around this time. And you're working out what you should do about it, or which way you should go, or how you can deal with it. Now we have the Swan here. To me, the Swan feels like it's clapping, like she's clapping. I feel the message here is whatever this crossroads you are at, it's like you can deal with it, you can handle this, you can sort this, you can get through this, because it's quite funny because I just keep seeing this Swan clapping, cheering you on. Yeah, so that's the message, that you're at a crossroads and inside that you can deal with this, that you can take the actions necessary to deal with this, okay? Whatever this crossroad is. And I want to mention also that a lot of the sun signs are getting the message of endings and new beginnings and new starts, new dawns, right? You're no different as well, Cancer. There's, crossroads, it's kind of like endings, but it's just before the endings. It's just before the new dawns, because some minor things perhaps need to be dealt with first. Then you can get that ending and the new dawn, right? And I feel that's why there's a sense of clapping, that this Swan is clapping, because you're almost there and you can deal with this crossroads. So maybe there are some choices, decisions that you are thinking about, and it feels like you're at a crossroads, but you'll be fine. You'll be fine. That's the message of that. You're so near to that stage now where you can have the endings and the new starts. Okay, now let's have a look at these two cards here. Now these two cards represent the way you and your domestic, living, or career, friendship situation is perceived by others. Right, we have the Ram and we have the Goose in reverse. Now, I have shuffled these cards thoroughly for each sign. So, but again, there's certain cards that want to come out for various signs. So how are others perceiving you? There's a sense of sturdiness. So even though you may feel like you're at the crossroads, there's a sense of sturdiness. And I guess I feel the reason why there's a sturdiness, even though you may feel like there's some decisions you need to make, and it may feel like you're at the crossroads, is because, deep down inside, you can handle this. Once you make your decisions and deal with it, you can have the ending and a new beginning, the new dawn. There's also a message of taking space for yourself in the following weeks as well. And that will help you to be sturdy and or remain sturdy, and to be able to weather any emotions or situations that come up, right, when you're trying to make a decision about this crossroads that you're at. So yeah, take space, time out for yourself. There's a message coming through too for some of the signs to clear clutter from their living spaces and also their workspaces as well. So it may be a time to take time for yourself, take time to have space, and literally take time to make space in your living situations and in your career situations. Are there anything that needs to get tidied up, organised, put in order, anything like that? It's like clear the clutter, clear the mind. And then that will help you with the crossroads as well, decisions or changes coming up due to the crossroads. And it will help you to have endings and a clearer direction on your new starts. And I feel that's why one of the reasons why the Goose card was in reversed, right? Another reason why this card is in reversed is that I feel you have, some little things that need to be dealt with so that you can have your ending and a new start. So this feels to me like a good card. If it was a tarot, I'd take this as the Star card or the Sun card, but more like the Star card, where even if it's reversed, it's still a good card. There's just some little minor things to sort through, but it's a great card either way. So, this is how others are perceiving you, right? And your issue. So they see that you're at a crossroads, that just some little things that you may need to organize, deal with, and you're fine, you're good to go, right? That's pretty good cards. Now the next cards I want to take a look at are these two cards here, and this is the way you want yourself or the situation to be regarding your living, your home situation, which again can have links to other areas of your life. Now again, this blank card has come up for quite a few of the signs. It's the mystery card. That's how it's coming up for a lot of the signs as well, as the mystery card. So usually I would suggest that you pay attention to what animals, insects and so on show up for you, and learn about that animal's traits, characteristics and so on, because that animal or insect can be giving you some guidance. But for most of the signs that have had this card, it's mainly showing up as mystery. That sometimes there are mysteries, right? Sometimes there are things that are unsolved and they get solved, and we have control, and sometimes we don't have control. That's just the mysteries of things sometimes. So it's not coming up as a good or bad card, but just a neutral card, but it feels quite like a good card. But we have this card accompanying it, which is the Water Dragon. So there we have the Water Dragon. You may feel like, I don't know, maybe in the past you felt like giving up, or maybe you may feel like giving up on a situation or an aspect of your life. Maybe there's some wishes that you want and you've kind of given up on it, and maybe that's the crossroads. I'm hearing growing up now. And so perhaps, that can be like the crossroads as well, and you're just sorting out some details or solving some things that are being unsolved. For some of you, it can be about carrying luggage, baggage, whether it's emotional or clutter, physical clutter and so on from the past, and you're not taking it with you. And that can be another reason why you're being on the crossroads. But again, these two cards represent the way you want yourself or the issue to be. So I feel that, you want the things that are unsolved to be solved. Any luggage, baggage, You want to let go of that for your new journey. I'm hearing it's solvable, right? That's the message coming through, that things are solvable. And that's the mystery sometimes, right? Sometimes when we're at the crossroads, we start to understand that things are solvable, even if we don't know how or didn't believe it could be. If you felt like giving up, there are solutions there. Things can be solved. Maybe there are different ways of solving things. So that's the message for you, and I hope that is helpful to you. The mystery card is very special because it's the openness. It's being open to that knowing that sometimes, we don't have control of things, but we get to a point where we know that things can be solved, and that we don't see the crossroads as being at the crossroads as a terrible thing, but instead we see it as a time of where we can put things in place so that we can have endings and have that new start. Or in other words, solve things, right? Things are solvable. Now, the last two cards, we have the Fox and the Fire Dragon. Again, another two cards that have showed up for many of the signs. So these two cards represent potential. These cards represent the way you or your domestic issue, your living situation can be, how it could be, right? This is the potential, the possibilities. The Fire Dragon, I feel it's about being steady. Steady now is what I keep hearing. And again, this Fox has been very helpful. It's come up for so many of the signs. And it's the same message about tricky. And so I feel that, things that you felt were tricky, unsolvable, you didn't know what to do about it, you didn't know how to deal with it or cope with it or anything like that. The possibilities, the potential is that they're solvable. They're solvable. So take time out, have space for yourself, but also have some space in your living situation, like actually clearing some space if there's clutter, included in your career situation or study situation, getting some things organized. That helps you to be sturdy, right? That helps you to be steady. And when you're steady, things become more solvable. That's the message of these two cards. So it's, that's the potential, that the steadiness and being able to solve things and not be at a crossroads anymore, of actually, the crossroads turning into a path for you, right, where things are much clearer and you're on the new adventure, the new journey. So, wow, October is really quite interesting for all the signs, for all of us, changes, new endings, new beginnings. You're moving from the crossroads onto a path, a much clearer path, a clearer direction, right, and feeling quite sturdy and steady. Thank you, Cancer. I hope you find this reading helpful.